Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing Accent Core plus R. It is episode 0.58, and it is Friday, the. Hold up, my brain's processing.
No,
January the 21st.
yeah, it's Jan 21. It's
Uh,
2 ton 21.
yes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another episode. We know you have lots of podcast choices,
Yeah, and you made your mistake. You made a big mistake.
but you know the law. You can't turn off now until you get to
No,
the end of
you
the
gotta.
episode.
Yeah, that's the price. That's or else the spooky man will come. The bad man.
The My Chemical Romance
Yeah,
man.
My Chemical the Black Parade.
Yes, the Black Parade
The
will come for you.
will come for you. You'll be like, you'll turn off that's a thing. You'll be like, no, it won't. And then you'll hear like from the distance, like,
What? I don't mean.
you're like, uh oh, it's coming. But it'll be like somehow that
Be
whatever.
regular parade speed.
Yeah, like it'll do like that where you know how they do like they take those classic like 90s bad like the sad Linkin Park they played on the Magic the Gathering
Magic.
trailer.
Yes.
Like they'll
Yes.
do that but with the Black Parade, so they'll try to make it even more sorrowful and spooky. You'll get that one. Or maybe they'll give you the ska remix instead, and then you'll be like,
Oh
"Oh man,
hell
hell
yeah!
yeah, let's do it!
Pick
Ska's
it up! Pick it
back!"
up! Pick it up! Pick it up!
Pit up,
Uh,
pit
I like the episode of Scooby Doo Mystery Inc. where the ska band from the '60s disappeared into reclusivity to write the perfect ska song, and then reappeared with a hypnotizing melody that ultimately culminated in a battle of the bands between them and the Hex Girls.
Man, I love ska. Oh
I do
man,
too.
ska
Oh,
rules.
sounds so good.
Ska's so good. Oh man, ska never dies.
Nope.
It's such like a mood. It's like a happy mood. You're like, oh yeah, we're doing it. And Tony Hawk's there, and he's doing kick flips. Like to me, like it doesn't matter if there's a ska band playing. Like Tony Hawk must be there, and he's doing like a 1080, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you get Tony."
I'll settle for Rodney Mullen.
That's okay too. I'm okay. Like, what was the guy who did a lot of the grinds? I forget his name.
Um, I don't know about the grinds.
Well, there's
I
like
just know.
like one of the skaters had like a really good ground game. I remember.
I know
Like
Rodney Mullen has a really good like. It's not really grinds, but it's a lot of like street tricks of like
that. I think it might be Rodney Mullen, who I'm thinking
like
of. Who's like he didn't do like the big on the ramps, but he would do like the stuff where you like on like a sidewalk or like on a rail or just doing like a
yeah, he's doing a lot of weird manuals and
yeah.
like
That's what I mean. Yeah. I
you're
think
just like juggling the board with his feet. I don't know how else to describe it.
yeah. I think we're
He
thinking of
just does
that's
a
the guy because
he
he's
just
like
does a backflip, like flat-footed on in his Tony Hawk 3 skater video.
yeah. I think yeah, that's what I'm thinking of because it's like the idea. It's like Tony Hawk always was like, yeah, he's doing all the tricks and stuff, but that's on like a half pipe. That ain't real. You're not gonna
Can't
get
do
to like
that out here in this wild.
yeah, like you're gonna see that yeah, like a half pipe. But how many opportunities are you gonna actually have to have a half pipe? This is not Tony Hawk's Pro Skater where everything just so happens to make half pipes at the level.
Yeah,
Where you're just like, well, here's like a construction site where we're building a big old tube, a pipe, but you know, like we had half of it, we like lined it up. Hopefully, no one does a sick grind on like the crane and then goes ollies into the half pipe and does a sick trick.
and collects these novelty oversized letters.
VHS tapes. Yeah, we got the skate videos that you had to get so you could watch the skate. Man, Tony Hawk
Skate,
ruled.
I thought it was Tournament Edition Ska.
Man, Tony Hawk was cool.
Oh, I really should buy the remade games. I
I,
hear,
I
I hear they're good.
well,
I
they
hear that
should be good. They're just Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Tony Hawk 1 and 2 is good.
Tony Hawk was bad for like a decade plus. Don't tell me they should be good.
Well, okay, so if you're remaking the good Tony Hawks, it would be good. I think like
I'm
the
just
last acceptable Tony Hawk was Tony Hawk Underground.
yeah,
It
Thug.
had it had
Yeah,
pro like Thug 2, no. Thug 2 is not good.
yeah.
Thug 2 is where they went full into the Bam Margera whatever and like get out of here, Bam Margera.
The bad timeline.
Yeah, that's where Tony lost and Bam became Heat King or whatever.
My favorite is where Tony got really into downhill racing.
That's the timeline we should have been in. But it's
Don't
not.
deserve that
We don't
timeline.
deserve Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam for
Uh,
the Nintendo
okay,
Wii.
so using this as a great segue.
Yeah.
Okay, we got two potential segues here, Kevin. Do you want to
Alright.
talk about the early 2000s movie The New Guy, or do you want to talk about Activision Blizzard?
I think we should talk about the early 2000s thing, the new guy. Listen,
So,
that's the thing. Podcast is we hit everything that's stupid first, and then in the last 10 minutes we talk about actual news. That's how it
try to
works.
cram it in there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you remember this movie or not, but Tony Hawk makes a guest
Okay, I
appearance
have
in
never seen this movie.
it. Yeah,
So tell me about it.
Tony Hawk is in this movie at a party doing sweet, like, half pipe tricks to ska music, only to get upstaged by this, like, the new guy riding a sick motorcycle and doing a ramp as he loses control of his motorcycle. I don't know. I've watched like some like that brand of comedy movie this week,
Oh
and
yeah.
the premise is after getting his wiener broken by the 80-year-old librarian at school.
Yeah. Oh man, this is like I can feel the energy, and I'm all yeah. There we go.
He then goes to. Why does he go to a prison? I think he maybe just gets picked up for like having an episode at a mall, and so the prisoners there are all very supportive of his efforts to reinvent himself as he moves to a new school.
Oh, that's kind of wholesome.
Yeah, they teach him how to be cool and how to like get maybe not respect but fear of the top of the food chain and
Oh,
establish himself.
oh, that's kind of like I know it's like weird. It's this sort of wholesomeness that I think would not
Yeah.
resonate with 90% of people. But I was like, oh, they're just trying to help him. They're not so bad.
And so like the thing is after he finally gets established as like the cool guy at the new school, which he successfully does, he then uses his newfound power to just encourage people to be kind to each other.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like that's awesome. That's like fighting against. That's like it's you're literally using the dark kung fu for good.
Yeah.
Like you've used the evil karate to kill the bad man, but then you're holding a hand out and saying, "Let me fix you."
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Definitely not without flaws.
Oh, I could obviously after just looking at this
It's
movie, I can see there's going to be many flaws.
it's also an early Zoe Deschanel movie. Like I think this is before Elf even.
Oh wow, wow.
Uh, can't do that on this phone. This phone doesn't like.
That's okay. Yeah, Zoe Deschanel is in this movie. I could
She
look it
is.
up for you. I'll be
I was just gonna look up though to see her filmography and see if like what is her first.
all right. I'm looking. All right, I'm looking at it. Apparently, her first was
The Good
Mumford.
Girl. Yeah, and the
Almost
Good Girl.
Famous is probably like the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is really early.
but yeah, she's still blonde here.
Yeah, Elf is like her big. Then she just started getting like actual movies. She was in The Bridge to Terabithia. Okay, well, yeah, I think that's the one. I don't know. Her number one is Joey is Trolls World Tour as one of the trolls.
I still wanted the evil trolls to win.
I never saw that movie. I don't even know.
I didn't either. I'm on the wagon with the Bam Bam Boys. That the evil trolls were clearly the who should win in that movie.
Well, it's. I feel in there's some in like the children. There's something about in like children's media where you want the bad guys to win because you know it's so impossible for them to do so. Like in real life, the bad guys usually win. We can,
yeah, they're winning right now.
We can, but it's because in fantasy media, it's like, they're just like Wile E. Coyote's not going to be able to catch the Roadrunner. He's not going to do it. It's impossible. But part
Who
of
says Coyote's the bad guy?
Yeah, well, okay. So, but it's one of those things where like, you're supposed to be rooting for like the Roadrunner. You're supposed to be rooting for Jerry, but part of you just goes, give Tom that one win. Let him do it. Let him do it.
I think Tom has won a couple times.
Well, there's obviously like he's got the upper hand. That it's the famous clip where like Tom is like Cowboy Tom is hitting on the lady, and he like uses Jerry to wrap his cigarette as he smokes it and then bells howdy at her, which is a great clip.
But yeah, I know there's an episode that ends with like, it might be an episode where Jerry's trying to convince Tom that Tom is suicidal every time he falls asleep. And so I think that one might end with like Jerry in a bottle with a gun loaded. So if he tries to leave, it'll shoot him.
There's like I'm just thinking of Tom and Jerry because I saw this stupid internet meme. If it was like, I don't remember what, but it was just Tom holding like a sword to Jerry, and Jerry just looked done. And Tom was looking at him like he had like this rapier, and he's like poking Jerry in the stomach, and Jerry just looks at Tom like, okay, do it. And Tom just doesn't know how to react. He's like, no. Like there's nothing there. It's just like, I'm done. I'm so tired. I'm so very tired.
Wait.
Zoe Deschanel's in an episode of Frasier.
Oh, Veronica's closet.
Oh man, which Frasier?
Okay.
In an episode, Kissing Cousin. She plays Jen.
Oh, I don't know that Frasier. There's too many Frasiers.
It's season 10 of Frasier. Oh my god.
There's a lot of Frasier.
I did not realize.
Yo, there's like a lot of Frasier. I think I've seen all of Frasier, and I have not.
It's like, I'm still surprised at how much Cheers there is.
Oh yeah, well it's like Frasier and Cheers are the kind of shows you expect there to be like 4 to 5 seasons, and then you look and it's
then
like double.
Cheers ran for a decade plus.
Yeah, and you're like, how the hell?
Yeah.
But it's
okay. There's only so much I need to go to a place where everyone knows my name. Come on, Cheers.
I know. Like,
okay, Kevin, what years do you think Cheers ran from?
Oh, I think Cheers is like it has to be like 82 to like 91. It's something like that.
82 to 93.
Dang.
With a total of 275 episodes.
Yeah, because like I know like Seinfeld is like 89 to like 97? Something like that. I mean, it's one of those things. Oh, yo, the new guy.
Yeah.
The new guy discourse. Do they still make that kind of teen comedy, or does that exist, or am I just not a teen, so I don't know anymore?
They have to. I feel like that kind of movie has now transitioned more into just stoner comedies are your typical teen comedies now.
Yeah, or it's like it's also like I saw a preview for like the final Jackass movie that's coming out, and
yeah,
and it just made me kind of sad because like Johnny Knoxville and crew look old.
Well, apparently Johnny's had gray hair since like Jackass #2. He's just constantly dyed it.
Yeah, but it's like it's this thing where like if you try to like build my nostalgia with real humans but they look old, all it does is make me feel old. like I can't handle it. And like movies keep trying to do it like, hey, remember this? And I'm like, oh, I'm taking damage. Cuz now it's remembering that I'm old. I don't want to no. And my taste have changed and I'm like it didn't look funny to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see Jackass 2, I don't think.
I didn't.
I think I'd probably enjoy some parts of it just the same way you're gonna enjoy some Robot Chicken or some of Family Guy. They just do so many that some part of it's gonna hit you.
Some physical comedy, like a man getting hit in the junk will always be a little funny, and there's going to be some overtly complicated thing where it's just going to be this big build up and some guy just gets kicked in the balls and you're going to laugh. Like it's just like it doesn't matter. Or just going to be like poo poo pee pee humor and you're just going to laugh and it's like haha, he did a big fart poo poo pee pee.
I think my favorite ones to me are whenever they set someone up to do a fake stunt. And then the real thing is, oh no, we just then locked the doors and put a snake in there, and he's scared of snakes.
That's genius. Where you're going to like, here's this big old thing, here we go, and then you're getting in the thing, and they just throw like a here's a snake, and then it's like bugs. We're just drop like a crate. We're just gonna have like a Tupperware thing full of spiders and throw it on you, and then close the door. That's the stunt. Enjoy all the spiders.
Okay, so I think I know what's happened to teen film, Kevin.
What? TikTok?
I think it's one. No. I think it's one, HBO, and two, streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So you can't possibly keep up. Like they don't even run trailers for those things.
That's true. It's just probably like they go there, or it's like YouTube or whatever. Like you don't need to go to the movie and watch The New Guy when you can just watch like some kid on the YouTube making his skit where he's being taught by prisoners or something, and that's the show.
Yeah.
I did watch. So Nolan posted a clip from I Think You Should Leave or whatever. Did you watch that thing about Driver's Ed?
No, because I didn't know if he posted that for last week.
I think he posted it for upcoming. I watched the skit, and it is pretty funny. Because it's about, like, driver's ed school or whatever. I will ruin it by explaining the skit as a...
Okay, well, just sit on it, and we'll save it for Nolan for next week. For Nolan.
But it looks pretty good. I think he's checked it out because Red Letter Media talked about, like, I Think You Should Leave is, like, good. And I think it's turning people on to like, should I check this show? And at least from like the skits I've seen, it's pretty good. Like I wouldn't say it's not the greatest skits. Like I don't think it's Key and Peele level skits, but it's like one level below that where you're watching it and you're like, it's pretty good.
It's a Mad TV.
I'd say it's like half step up above a Mad TV. It's like you're watching it. Like you're watching it and it's like it's pretty good. The example one, I'll just say the example one in like the Red Letter Media that they talked about was like the parody of Bad Grandpa, where it was like the main character's like, I'm gonna get all this makeup and look like an old person and cause all sorts of problems. And then it just cuts to him in like this awful old person outfit that he can barely walk in and move, and everyone clearly knows he's wearing like a mask. And no one's taking him seriously. He's like, I'm an old man, and then no one's like buying into it, and he can't. It's just like sad and pathetic for like 5 minutes, and he just ends with it like giving up. And that's the skit, and I'm like, that's genius.
That is gold.
Because you think like, oh man, he's gonna cause some problems. Like, I'm old.
Help me.
Help me! And no one is. And he's just like, come on, please. Someone. Anyone? But yeah, I did that. I bought pants. Man, pants are expensive.
How much you spend on pants?
I spent like literally 2 Warhammers. Or like it's
I don't know how much a Warhammer is.
okay, so like one of the big boxes or whatever, it's like $160-ish,
Yeah.
and that's about it. I had to buy like 3 pairs of pants.
About $160 worth of pants, Kevin?
Well, also a belt and socks.
Where did you go to buy pants?
I just went to Penny's.
No!
I don't know how to close shop. I just went to Penny's and I bought jeans.
Well, okay, so the good thing is at least like Penny jeans will,
Oh, they keep for like a while.
Yeah.
Like whenever I buy it, like my jeans from there last like several years. Like it's like they are solid, and I only replace.
Yeah.
I think I'd go like every 2 to 3. So like I'm getting good jeans.
Yeah, you just need to like take advantage of sales. You need to be a forward thinker
Yeah.
and know it's like, oh hey, like
Well,
it's Black Friday. I need to go ahead and buy some adult stuff.
Yeah, I need to go buy the adult things and not go like, I need to go, okay, these pants are starting to get holes in them, so I should probably buy the replacements during like the Black Friday deal that's clearance that's selling them for like 30% off or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting until my pants disintegrate and go, well, I guess now I need to go buy the pants.
Because they make some deals on those Black Fridays.
Yeah. But it was okay. My pants, they fit properly. It's so weird. My pants are good. Oh man. Oh yeah, we could talk about the emo festival.
Yeah, talking about nostalgia making you feel
Oh
old.
dude, I didn't know all of these. Jimmy Eat World coming back.
So, okay, I have never kept up with music. I can tell you 6 bands off of all of these.
Oh, I know like none of them. Okay, hold on. I'm counting. I think I know like 3 or 4. But man,
I know. Yeah. Okay, so the other fun thing is, this is for those listening though, We Were Young Festival. It's a 1-day festival and there's like 30 bands that are gonna be there.
and it's all the emo bands. They're back. Is this
Oh, Boy's not there.
oh,
And the Killers aren't there either.
yeah, couldn't have did it. So is this like so basically it's all like the I'll say late 90s, early 2000s. Is that about right?
I think early 2000s, later 2000s.
I think the aughts. Can we
Yes,
say that?
this is the
What I want this to be is that the true emo is that you go to this and then you realize how old everyone is and how old yourself is. That's the true despair. So like My Chemical Romance gets on stage and then they start singing a song. It's like, I'm tired at night and all I want to do is watch Netflix and order Grubhub. Then I go on Facebook and then I take a bed early. It's like, oh no. I've become normal. I'm not very unique. All my dreams are dead. Doop-a-doo-doo.
Oh,
I'm probably wearing a fanny pack to this concert. So it looks like, oh no.
God, I'm not. I just checked, but our drummer is.
The drummer just goes, it holds my keys. It's very convenient. I can also keep my map of the festival grounds.
It has the schedule, the layout. It's very convenient.
It's very convenient, you know?
Look, I got extra sunblock in there. It's hot out.
You're
Remember,
in Las
like
Vegas. I need to
sunscreen.
keep my sunblock on. I got a little granola bar in there in case I feel like the carbs going down.
Yeah, I think my sugar drops sometimes. I need a little pick me up.
No, that's what I want. That would be my emo festival, or the true emo is discovering that you grew up to become your parents. It's not
You're
like
not
I
Peter
hate
Pan
my
anymore.
yeah. You're just like, hey gang, did you see that Facebook post? I don't know what old people talk about. Did you watch The
This,
Office?
Kevin. Talk about this.
Is this? Am I like? Am I? I know I'm old, but I don't know how
You're,
old. Like,
you're
cause
conflating old people with wasp people.
well, that's what I. That's like what my brain goes towards. Cause
Yeah,
like my brain goes to like the Office man,
yeah.
who like lives in an office and is like bland. And I'm not saying that Office Man is bad, because Office Man probably has like a family and like a loving relationship, or at least could, more so than me.
But it's a loving.
He ain't playing Final Fantasy at like
No,
1 in the morning. So like,
nope. His wife said gaming is over now that we're married.
yeah, well he's like, well I would play games, but you know we gotta. Oh god, that happened. It was like one of my dad's like college friends or something. We went down to visit him a while way long ago, and he was like, well, you know, right now I'm really into like going on the lake in my boat, and we're like trying to remodel the house to flip it. And you're just like, oh god, we have nothing in common.
Yeah,
Like nothing at all. It's one of those where like you see someone you used to know and like, oh, your life went way differently than me. Like completely different. And like, what are you doing,
I was.
Kevin? And I'm like, let me tell you about Magic the Gathering, Neon Kanagawa. And then they're like, oh. And then they get to feel like we both get to feel equally bad at each other. Where I'm like, damn, you changed. They look at me and like, wow,
You
you're.
grew. You lost the war.
And they look at me and they're like, man, you just lost your hair and that's all you lost. You're like the same person. Oh, I haven't. I need to get a haircut sometime, but I don't want to go out and get one because it's cold.
It's always the like. You don't realize how warm your hair keeps your head until you get a haircut.
I just always hate getting a haircut, and I don't like to do it if there's like even the most minor of inconveniences. Like I don't want to go. I gotta go get my haircut, and it's cold and snowy outside, and I just don't want to do it. Because usually I just walk to like the barber shop. It's kind of
Yeah.
like my twofer, where I get to do my walk. Yeah, that's okay. Anything else before we talk about the continued megacorporization of AAA video games?
I tried to play Street Fighter again, and I just don't understand that game.
Yeah. Oh, I don't love it, but sometimes that'll happen where it's just like I don't get it anymore. What's
Like,
happening?
I don't understand how it discouraged people from mashing.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just I can understand how to do it in Marvel, and I can understand how to do it in Guilty Gear, but like the tools I want to do that with don't exist in Street Fighter Five.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta talk about the
So I
two.
can't throw tech. Online, I cannot throw tech. Every other human being in the world can do it. Probably because they're just mashing throw, and I don't mash it.
Oh yeah, they just whenever they feel a throw's coming, you just hammer on it.
Just yeah,
'Cause, well, I mean, you kind of have to if you're doing online because you don't have the timing where you can just go and tech it, or even like mash
yeah,
within like a window. It's just like nah, we just slam it.
yeah,
We just banana slammer.
yeah.
Congo Bongo's hero. Donkey Kong.
Donkey Konga.
All right, so I watched two anime related things. I want to talk. Both of them. One of them was frustratingly good. One of them was actually pretty good. So as I've tweeted, episode 9 of live action Cowboy Bebop is actually pretty good. Like, it's the best episode of the show.
What episode is it?
It's episode 9, and it's basically a flashback of where Spike and Vicious were in the Syndicate doing Syndicate stuff. And it feels like a different show because it doesn't feel like I don't think that was an episode of Cowboy Bebop where they just did a full episode of Spike and Vicious in the Syndicate. Like, you get flashbacks, I know, but like, did you ever get one that was just like just them doing Syndicate stuff the entire episode?
No, I don't think we ever get that.
Because you get that in this episode, and it works. Because they're not tied to Cowboy Bebop, so they can just kind of do sort of their own thing. And it almost makes you... It made me wish that the show was just about Spike and Vicious in the Syndicate. Because there's like... Or even like this one being episode 1 in this... Because like... At one point, one of the Syndicate bosses tells Spike to kill Vicious because Vicious fucked up. And obviously, we know from various Cowboy Bebop that Spike isn't going to do that when he's in the Syndicate. Like, obviously. But the way the episode is going, it kind of made it like, will he do it? I don't know. Maybe he is. Because Vicious just, like, randomly kills a man. And, you know, you can't have that, like, in your mafia mob story. And you're kind of like... There was some suspense and intrigue. It didn't work because it's episode like 9 and you know what's going to happen. And then the show's canceled. But from a construction standpoint, they made a good episode of a show, which is somehow more frustrating because it means that they didn't the other time.
Well, that's because the rest of it, they had characters that were already made and established that they had to somehow turn into new stuff, new and exciting, but also familiar and the same.
Well, it's they were too stuck to the formula of the cartoon or anime, as you would go,
while also not understanding the anime.
Yeah, because it's like there's things that the anime did because it's going to be an anime. Like the anime's not going to have a crowd shot of like a crowd fight. They're just going to have like one-on-ones because animating like a crowd fight or whatever is really hard. But, you know, in live action, you can have like a gang war or whatever fairly, not easily, but more sensibly. Like, here's your set, and here's like 10 guys fighting each other. And it's like, oh yeah, that's what a gang war would kind of look like. But in animation, that's a lot harder to have that be like readable. Yeah, but anyway. I also watched like the first 4 episodes of Digimon Ghost Game.
Oh, so there's a new Digimon anime that's just out.
Yeah, so there's like the remake, and then there's Digimon Ghost Game. And Digimon Ghost Game is basically like, I would say Digimon cross Yamishibai or more Kitaro. Where like the Digimons are treated as yokais. Because, like, in the future, basically it's like in the future, everything's all connected and holograms exist. So, like, the Digimon are, like, hologram ghosts that'll show up. And it's cool. And it's really, I like it. I like it a lot. I like that.
How is everybody?
Oh. Kelsey's talking.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like
that's
trying to get out of her way, and she's trying to get out of my way.
No, that's okay. It happens. Don't worry. I'm just talking about Digimon. My assumption is it's for babies, but it's still pretty good. I would say if you like Digimon, give it a watch. I don't think it's as good as Digimon Tamers or Digimon the first season, but it is better than Digimon Season 4, if that makes sense. Like, it's third. I would put Ghost Game so far. I haven't seen all of it, but so far I put it like third.
I like Season 4.
Like, it's about, I mean, it may be like season, I would say so far it's like equivalent to Season 4.
Yeah.
like there's I think season 4 picked up when it started getting into the kids like emotional issues. That's when it
Yeah.
like a lot of Digimon like you're in the start where it's just introducing everything and then eventually we hit like the okay, now we're going to get to these child's problems and that's where it gets interesting. And I don't know if
Yeah.
we've gotten there just yet for this. There was a cool moment in episode 1 where the first Digimon they fight is Clockmon, who basically his whole thing was he would appear to people at random, ask you what time it was, and if you couldn't tell him, then he'd steal your time and make you old or whatever.
Ah.
And that was like his attack. So what happens obviously is that he uses that on our partner's Digimon Gamamon. And Gamamon starts to Yoko Kurama. Like because he's stealing like their future or whatever.
Yeah.
And they start like the people would rapidly age, but when he hit the Digimon, like darkness started coming out of him, and the thing's like, uh-oh, like what is this? And then he like had to cut off his attack. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's like, oh, we got the cute little Triceratops monster. I'm gonna steal its future, and oh, it's evil. It's really evil. Gotta turn it off. But I was like, that was cool. That was a cool moment. And it's fun little show. It's a good little Digimon. It's about what do you think?
I had started watching the remake, and then like I just like stopped watching at some point. And then I saw like clips of Pegasusmon being back, and I was like, oh well, I dodged a bullet.
Yeah. One of the cool things, I'm going to also give Ghost Game credit for this, at least in the first 4 episodes, is that through most of like the villain Digimons of the week, it ends with the main character talking and empathizing with them to solve the problems instead of just like blowing them up.
Yeah.
So like one of the episodes, spoiler for like episode 2, was Mummymon came in and wanted to help people, but because he like his portal whatever was in a museum, he saw like the ancient Egyptians like mummification ritual and how they're like the ancient Egyptians believed that this ritual would cure like people would be reborn into the afterlife, and he goes, okay, yeah, so that's what'll help people. So he was like kidnapping people and wrapping them in bandages because he thought that was the way to help people.
Oh well, that's nice of him.
Well, yeah, and then like, and then they fight him, but at the end of the episode, after he kind of like, our main character kind of like gets him to call, like, beats him up, so he gets into like weakened form. He was like, listen, that's not how it works. You know what? You should just go to like a hospital and look around, and you know they'll like you can see how actually it works. And he's like, thank you very much, and then leaves. And it's like, it's kind of like, I like that solution because it's like, no, we cleaned up the misunderstanding.
Yep.
And then you can have that guy come back at a later time to heal our main character. Obvious, like every twist is like so obvious, but I have to remember it's for like, this is a show for children.
Yes.
Or it's like, yeah, but they're setting up a setup, and then like in 10 episodes, when our main character gets hurt in some Digimon battle, Mummymon's gonna show up and use his doctor knowledge to heal him. And you're gonna be like, oh, look at that. Look at that, kids, your kindness overcame.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. Okay. Now I think we could talk about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard now.
So, I am most excited. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 came out.
Yep.
Clearly has UI design intending for additional Tony Hawks to be added to that game.
Yeah, put in 3 in Underground.
Only to get completely absorbed by Activision, and everyone immediately just be like, oh, well, I guess it's not gonna happen now, huh?
Well, like everything.
But now it's bought by Xbox, so now there's a chance again.
Well, because like basically everything that was, so there's goods and bad about the thing. The bad thing is on my socioeconomic scale. Well, I don't like big corporations getting bigger because it feels bad. Like, it's like when you consider that it was that Jeff Keighley post where he said like he bought that Microsoft bought him for like $68 billion or whatever, and he put like every other video game company and they're all like in the teens to like Capcom is like 7 billion or whatever, and you're like,
Yeah.
and I just got like a pit in my stomach, like, oh man, is this Microsoft just gonna buy every video game company and say now we're video games?
They could.
They could, and it makes me and I don't like that.
Well, even then, they're not only the third largest game studio.
Well, they're behind Tencent, who is basically everything in China, also Riot Games, also like Platinum. Tencent's like huge. It's like all the China money. And then Sony.
Yes.
Sony's like number 2.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't like the idea of we're getting into like Microsoft instead of trying, because obviously they couldn't develop any like mask other than Halo. Like I always remember that E3 when Microsoft was like, check out all of our cool Microsoft franchises. We got Master Chief, the car from Forza, Fantasy Man from Fable, and I think we got like a timed exclusive for Tomb Raider, so that's on our list. And like, there's our heroes. There's our Smash Brothers lineup.
I just don't understand how hard it is. Like, I don't think it should be that hard.
Well, it's I'm not a game nor marketing man. I would imagine if you just made something good, it would work. Like, maybe people would love Blinks the Time Sweeper if Blinks the Time Sweeper was a good game.
Yeah. Like, I just don't understand.
I don't get it. Well, now they own Activision Blizzard, which is like, so the good thing about it is there's a lot of like Activision stuff that like died because the developers were turned into Call of Duty mines. Because that's kind of like, that's like the Spyro remakes and stuff. They're like, okay, you did it. Now go to the Call of Duty map making mines, where like everyone got turned into, you're making Call of Duty content basically. And it's like, you know, maybe like it almost feels like, I mean, really, the big money maker of Activision, that's Activision Blizzard King, and people forget the King part because that's Candy Crush, and that's the one that makes all the money. Like whenever people would look at like the financials, because all the World of Warcraft people and people that both like and hate World of Warcraft, either want it to die or want it to live, would always like look at their earnings calls, and it was always like King was number 1 because of Candy Crush. Like,
yeah.
So like it's like that's why they bought it. But also like, yo, Microsoft, StarCraft's there. You're gonna make something with StarCraft? Blizzard hasn't been doing that. I really like StarCraft a lot. It's been dead for so long. Make like a StarCraft game. Not even RTS.
Make a World of StarCraft.
Make a fighting game. Now your Killer Instinct has characters to put in there.
Yeah.
You got a lot of characters. You don't have to resort to General Ram and Battletoads. You can put like a Zergling.
I don't know. I never really played Killer Instinct, and I have no real interest to play Killer Instinct.
I liked it.
It's just every time I watch it, it's just like
it's very different.
So placid.
It's like I liked it, but it's not the kind of fighting game that I usually enjoy. Like it is like memorize your string and then try to break your opponent. Like it's.
But no, that's even the thing. It's not even memorize your string, because a good player will be like, oh, this is his string, so I just break it here.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's like maybe I'm trying to say
it's
like
added another game of rock paper scissors to it.
Yeah, it's like you play rock paper scissors to then play rock paper scissors. I think that's you've nailed it. It was like that part in like, and it's still when I tried playing Warhammer that first time, and the part that bothers me, where you have to like roll to hit your opponent and then roll to do damage to them, and I feel like there's one too many, or it's like I don't, and I know there's like guns and stuff that don't do it, but it feels like it's so disappointing to say, oh, you hit him and you dealt 0 damage. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
And not because you dealt 0 damage because he's like a tank and you're shooting him with a gun, but just like, nah, this bug, like you hit it and then it just didn't work.
Yep.
It's like,
You didn't do it right.
it's like, I don't like that. Not a fan of that. And that's kind of what Killer Instinct is. Where like you hit him and then you got to hit him again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I don't like it makes it's the dark future. Also, did Shonen, okay, so the day we're recording, we'll talk, we haven't said it yet, but Shonen Jump did its thing where it was like Shonen Jump's gonna have a brand new announcement on Wednesday to interact with Shonen Jump greater than before, and everyone was doing like tweets like no NFTs, and then Shonen Jump had to put out a tweet that was like, it's not NFTs, don't worry.
Good.
And everyone's like, good, but it's just, yeah, Active Blizz. Maybe World of Warcraft will get okay. Maybe this is the revival of Asheron's Call. Let's go.
When are they announcing it?
What do you mean?
When's Shonen Jump announcing whatever their news is?
I don't know. They just said yesterday. They said Wednesday we'll have an announcement. They just did like a tweet on like the Shonen Jump thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's like it's all right. It's all right. I mean, I don't know. I just want the people that work at Blizzard. Hopefully Microsoft is better, but when you get like to Megacorp status, I just don't know anymore.
Yeah, it's such a huge
Like
company that they don't even know what they're doing. You
No.
could probably just start sending them bills, and they would pay you the bill
Oh yeah.
because they're so massive they wouldn't be aware of if they had.
It would be easier just to give you $1,000 than it would be to sick like the accountants to figure out if we needed to give you $1,000 or something.
Yes.
Like the accounting man hours, it would actually be $10,000 to determine whether to pay. So we'll just do it.
Yeah.
They can't do it all the time, though. I mean, that's gonna. It's also the fact that in their press release they keep talking about like we're gonna make inroads into the metaverse or whatever, and I just like the I understand why NFTs have been glomped onto every major company is like thinking about it because it's selling nothing. And that's the dream, right? Like, I get that. It's a scam for nothing. I get why, like, Square Enix is like, we're going to think about doing this. You know? I get that. I don't agree with it. I think it's bad. But I can understand the evil corporation wanting that, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I don't understand the metaverse because it's so expensive and the return is I don't get it. Like I'm just thinking of, like, virtual Walmart. Like, why would I want to like suit up to go to like the Walmart website? What does that get me?
Yeah, then you can now give the Walmart money in real life and in virtual life. Walmart wins twice.
But like I can just go to Walmart website and buy things, or go to Walmart itself and buy things. Like the cost of setting up like. In focus testing and making sure VR Walmart works. Like, why? Why? I don't get it. I understand Facebook's just doing it as like a shell company so that Facebook itself won't get broken up so they can just, I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
So they can say.
Well, then you have to ask yourself, why does Walmart need a shell company?
Yeah. But it's not even a shell company. Unless they're also doing it and they're saying Walmart is a division of virtual Walmart. So when you break up Walmart, they'll say, okay, virtual Walmart goes over here, and we'll just take the subsidiary Walmart.
Oh boy, you feds, you got us.
Because that's what it feels like. Like that's what Facebook is doing. Like we all know, that's what the whole metaverse is simply so that when the Facebook gets broken up, they're gonna go, "Dang, you broke up Meta. I guess me, Mark Zuckerberg, I'll just have to stick on with Facebook." You got us.
You got me.
You got me again. But it's just like I don't know. It's also because I think like in video games, I feel like in the AAA video game sphere, there's becoming less and less games like I want to play, and I don't know if that's just because I'm old, or also because I have to buy my games. I'm not buying as many, but I'm just like,
I don't even know what AAA games are anymore.
well, it's like,
Is Elden Ring a AAA game?
yeah, that's a AAA game. That's a AAA game. Like it's like,
Is Street Fighter 6 a AAA game?
honestly, Street Fighter 6 is probably like a double A. Like we could be real. I think the AAA fighting game is gone.
Is Mortal Kombat 11 a AAA fighting game?
Maybe it's the Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I would say Mortal Kombat 11 would be a AAA fighting game. I do not think Street Fighter 5 was a AAA fighting game.
No, I would agree with that.
I mean, maybe like now you could consider it, but at launch it was not a AAA fighting game. Like the final edition Street Fighter with all the DLC characters, I would say, yeah, that's probably like AAA quality. I think Smash is one. Smash Ultimate, I would say, is a AAA.
Guilty Gear Strive.
That's a double A. I think I consider it the amount of like what am I trying to think of here? Like content?
Yeah.
Where like Strive was like multiplayer and your quote unquote story mode was like a movie that you could watch on YouTube. Or watch.
Yeah, you don't even get anything for watching it.
Yeah, like you don't even get like fight money or anything for watching it. It's just like a CG movie with the in-game models. And like when that's your story mode, I don't consider it AAA unless you have like a whole lot of crap in there. Even if you compare it to Melee. Like Melee had like,
I'll be honest, if that movie was better quality than the one we got, I'd consider it AAA, but like they can't even have believable walk cycles in the movie.
oh god, that's when it would fall apart. It's when you like those models were trying to do something they weren't explicitly designed to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as Marvel Infinite, where like Spider-Man standing up straight looks really weird because his whole proportions and models were designed to be in hunched spider state.
From 3/4 view.
Yeah, but when you see him like up front, it's like ugh. When you're trying to zoom in on models, like whenever like they've showed it, like whenever you do like a JoJo pose or in Dragon Ball Fighters, like what the model actually looks like during supers, because it's all they have to like deform it to just make it look right.
Yep.
And
To get the right center graphics.
yeah. It's like, well, we gotta like stretch out this face or else it's gonna look weird. It's like, yeah, you gotta have some issues with that. I think no, the Riot game's not gonna be AAA. It'll be like AA. It'll be that's the hope.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just like also it's weird. It's also weird because I feel like with the Microsoft acquisition, it's not like, oh man, these games are going to be good. It's like, well, if Microsoft makes it like Xbox exclusive, then I'm not playing it. I still like I still like if you tell me like all the Blizzard games, like the Skyrim and the Doom and everything. You gotta get an Xbox to play. I'm like, yeah, then I'm just not gonna play them. There's still
Yep.
like
So Microsoft now, everything's on either Xbox or Windows.
Yeah.
Like they've just made that standard.
yeah, they have like their Game Pass or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like Halo, they put out on like Steam,
Yeah.
which is a smart plan because it's basically they're trying to sell the what are they trying to sell? Like you know what? I should have checked. You know what I should probably check. I'm just gonna check it right here. Oh, thank God, the bitrate's normal today. I didn't talk about that. Like my computer decided to like say, "Yo, you're gonna be recording in like 4K Ultra HD for this."
Ooh.
And then I'm like, "Uh-oh," and I looked at like the file size and it was like 7 gigs. I'm like, "Oh no." I'm like, why? Because the normal podcast is like 100 megs.
Yeah.
And this one was like 7.8 gigs. I'm like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
Because I was like uploading it and it wasn't up, like it usually uploads in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And this one was like uploading, it was like 3 hours. I'm like, oh, what? What did you do?
See, Kevin, you would have immediately known this if you were using Lappy. Lappy can't do 4K.
Oh, Lappy would have just collapsed. Oh man, Lappy's still holding in there. Lappy does its job. It basically it's like my second monitor, and I'll put on like a YouTube video while I'm doing something else, and it does do its job.
Good for you, Lappy.
It can barely run Magic the Gathering Arena. It can run Bloons Tower Defense too. Like, well done. It's one of those things where like I feel, and it's just like as updates and stuff, Lappy's performance has just gotten consistently worse over time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not planned obsolescence, but something with like Windows and how it's programmed, it just does not like it with like the laptop, or something's like conflicting in there. So there's just a lot of worry about video games. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't. I'm just expecting bad, because I always expect bad, and then if it turns out good, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yep. Can't be disappointed.
Yeah, I can't be disappointed, because then you get this this true secret of pessimism is that you get the smug satisfaction of being right whenever something bad happens, and then you go, I knew it, I was correct all along, and then you get that little extra zing of correctness.
Yep.
That smug self-satisfaction that I crave. I need it. I need to be right. Anyway, I got nothing else. You got anything?
I started playing Silent Hill 2.
Oh yeah, how you enjoying that?
Oh my god, the tank controls, Kevin.
Yeah.
The tank controls.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Man, James Sutherland, he's a tanky boy.
It's just like, I don't understand how there's not a mod for that yet that corrects it.
I think there's like one of the ports had like analog controls or something.
Like what, the HD collection?
Or yeah, or some one of those where like it did have analog controls, and apparently that like trivializes every fight in the game because you can just like easily swerve around people. Like,
So like the other annoying thing is I can't assign buttons for like strafe left and strafe right on the controller.
yeah.
So like he's supposed to just be able to walk sideways, and I can't even do that.
Hell yeah. Where are you at in Silent Hill 2? How's it go? Where are you at in it?
I just fought Pyramid Head for the first time.
You mean weird pyramid thing or whatever?
Yeah. The red pyramid guy.
Yeah.
his hands are they get around.
Oh, he's a delightful boy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thematic things in Silent Hill,
Yep.
and they kind of don't.
Uh, Pyramid Head. So his giant knife he carries around is actually just half of a scissors.
Yeah.
And can you guess who was supposed to have the other half of the scissors?
Wasn't it?
James.
Yeah, I thought James was supposed to have
James
it.
was supposed to have the other half of the scissors.
Because it was supposed to be like, don't you get it? Don't you see? Anyway, I like Silent Hill 2. I think it's cool. That's a game I've never played, but like I've watched many times. I'm like, yeah, it's great. Silent Hill 1 through 3 is good. I think Silent Hill 4 has some ideas, but overall has problems.
Silent Hills 1 through 3 are pretty good. 4 is also not bad.
I think 4 is like, there are things about, I think 4's biggest problem is when it tries to connect itself to the other Silent Hills. I think it should have just stayed in its own like universe of like
Yeah.
as Silent Hill to be like the Twilight Zone, where it's just like, here's like a really spooky situation.
You know, I bet development for that game started that way, and then the success of 3 had producers saying, no, but now you need to tie it into the other ones.
Yeah.
But now you have to tie. Look how good 3 did, and because it tied into 1. You need to do this too. Thanks.
I never played the PSP game, so I don't know.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah.
How's the pachinko game?
Oh yeah. Well, you pull the lever and you get the wins. So there's I think there's 2 PSP games. One of them is like Diablo,
Okay.
which I'm like, okay, and one of them is like, it's sort of like the prequel to Silent Hill 1, where you play as like a truck driver that basically pulled over in the worst town possible. Where like your truck needed to fill up in the worst town humanly possible, and that's the story. I think Homecoming has great monster designs, but the game and story are terrible.
Okay, does that one actually use butt rock in the trailer?
It probably.
I can't remember if like the trailer I see for it that has, I can't even remember what song it is. Can't remember if that was the real song they used or the parody song people put in.
I don't know. All I know is that like I liked like Homecoming is very dumb, and in a lot of things it claims to do don't work because of story contrivances. But I do like the monster designs. I think they're pretty good. A lot of the design, it does what's so the thing about, and then the next one.
Okay, no, sorry, it's just Downpour does use corn in the trailer.
Downpour is the one that uses corn. Downpour, yeah. I love the story of it. I think the story is interesting. Like, it's not a great game, but the story is interesting. But the monster designs are probably the worst in the series.
Yeah.
Like, they're terrible. But the idea...
The idea that multiple people are experiencing, like, overlapping Silent Hills, right?
Yeah. Which is, like, 2 does that as well. Like,
yeah.
2 has... There's the silent... Basically, in Silent... Yeah, we're getting Silent Hill talk. That's fine. Like, in my opinion, there are 2 schools of Silent Hill where you're going there and you're basically getting into the quote-unquote, like, the god of Silent Hill, and it's doing all of its shit. So, like, that's, like, 1 and 3, where, like, the monsters are real, basically.
Yeah.
And then Silent Hill 2 is, like, the monsters are in your head, in your own Silent Hill. Like, you are in your own little place. Whenever you go...
So, okay. So I think there's 2 Silent Hills. There's the, like, standard, anyone can encounter this Silent Hill. And then there's the, oh, you're fucked up enough that Silent Hill is gonna, like, just give
it's gonna
you
make
what
its
you
own
want.
little... You'll get your own little party.
Yeah, it's like, I don't have... It's like, oh, you get something a little special. You get custom service.
Like, Like Harry Mason is a well-adjusted good dad, so he go in there, he's getting regular Silent Hill.
Yeah, he's just getting generic Silent Hill.
James Sutherland has some wife issues, so he's gonna get his Silent Hill. Silent Hill's like, oh boy, I got a special treat for you, James. You want to have? We're gonna give you some problems.
The ones you already have and won't face.
Yep.
I'm helping you, James. James, I'm helping you.
I'm
Listen,
helping.
we're gonna get through this together, or die. I don't care which, James, but we're gonna do it.
And then Shattered Memories was pretty good. A little bit, like I think.
Wait, wasn't it a Kingdom Hearts game?
No, that's Chain of Memories.
Chain of Memories, yeah, that's.
We're not at Silent Hill 365 over 2 days. That's different. Where you team up with Organization 13 and learn about Roxas.
Okay, give me Pyramid Head, but put an X in his name and scramble the letters.
Yeah, it's Pyrex. He has a chain. He has a Keyblade. See, he has. Honestly, Pyramid Head is James Sutherland's nobody.
Yeah.
It's rather just like how Roxas has a Keyblade and Sora has a Keyblade, and when they combine, they can use 2 Keyblades. You see, Pyramid Head has one half of the Great Knife, and James Sutherland has the other half of the Great Knife, and they combine.
Yeah.
Think about
yeah.
it. Think about it, and then they could form the Keyblade. Not the Keyblade, but the Keyblade, which is XI for key, like your light force. So you need to get the Keyblades to make the Keyblade, because the Keyblade can open Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
Yeah. This is why I can't. So I don't have, like, future. That's what my brain decided to latch on to.
Well, it just means Clockmon can't get you, Kevin, if you ain't got no future.
Clockmon got me. It'd be bad for Clockmon. It would be that one comic which I keep talking about, where it's just the guy sitting on the computer looking bored, and then he has like a memory of himself, and it's just himself sitting on the computer looking bored, and it says like 2006, and the guy just starts weeping. I'm like, I feel that every day. It's like so beautiful then. Anyway, Silent Hill's pretty cool. I like it.
Yep.
I like it. I think every Silent Hill has something it does right, except the Pachinko and like the Diablo one. Those don't do it.
Yeah. I like that they're just spooky adventure games.
Yeah. I feel like it's weird. It's weird that like you would think, because Microsoft wants like they want franchises, I feel like, more than like development studios, because they have like no iconic characters. You think they just go to like Konami and be like, we'll give you like $1 billion. Give us everything you got. You know, like we'll take Metal Gear, we'll take Castlevania, Silent Hill, Bomber, whatever. Yeah. Just give it to us. We'll buy it from you. We'll make the games.
Or SNK. We're gonna buy both.
Yeah, just go to like if I was Microsoft, I would not start at the top. Like, I'm not gonna, all right, we're gonna get Call of Duty, because to me, like, you already make Halo. If you like,
you don't need Call of Duty.
No, Call of Duty is just gonna eat into your Halo sales, unless you're gonna turn them into Call of Duty, Halo. Like, I would just go after like, all right, now we own all of SNK.
Kevin, do you know what that means?
What?
Then Microsoft can start bridging the gap between Metal Slug and Halo and have them be one big franchise.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. Or just like buy Sega.
Sega.
Man, Sega has some good shit.
Yeah. There, now Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, you got Sonic. You got
there
Phantasy
you go.
Star.
Yep.
You got Yakuza's. You got Virtua Fighter. Now you can actually do something with Virtua Fighter.
You got Amigo.
Yeah, you got Billy Hatcher. Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Now you're looking for sailors.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't give Shenmue. You let that one go. You got Yakuza.
Of course, the Yakuza is just new, better
Yeah,
Shenmue.
Yakuza's good Shenmue. But what you do have is you go, okay, now we can actually play Jet Set Radio. Remember in Xbox, you even had a bunch of those games.
Well, no, it had one. There's only 2 of those games.
Well, I mean, not Jet Set Radio, but I mean, like, a lot of the Dreamcast stuff just went to
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yep.
Like, if I was Xbox, that's where I'd go.
Yeah, just buy Sega.
I would buy... It's probably a lot cheaper than Activision. Just be like, yo, here we go. And you know what? We're going to call... Instead of calling it the Xbox Series X, we call it the Dreamcast 2.
No, Kevin, naming conventions. The Dreamcast 360.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I got such, like, a good feeling in my heart when he said the Dreamcast 360. I'm like, oh, ooh, tingles. I like it. There you go. That's my corporate advice. Instead of don't someone buy Sega.
Yeah.
Get in there. Anyway, later days. Bye.
Bye.